Roll out the drums, make some noise on instrument, shout aloud for joy. Cibn is 50. Roll out the drums, make some noise.
On December 15th, 1976, the Nigerian Institute of Bankers was incorporated as a non-profit company, limited by guarantee. But the journey to this day started way back in 1960, Nigeria's year of independence, when the Bankers Committee, a committee of all licensed banks in Nigeria, formed a body to defend and protect banking profession in Nigeria. That body pressed for a local center of the Institute of Bankers of London, to which all belonged. So on November 28, 1963, 124 bankers gathered at Randall Hall, Surulere, Lagos, and passed a resolution for the establishment of the local center of the Institute of Bankers, London, in Nigeria. At inception of the Lagos Local Center, Mr. M.D.A. MacLeod, an expatriate MD of the Bank of West Africa Limited, was elected the chairman. He served from 1963 to 1965. After MacLeod's term were 4 other executives of the local center that worked very hard and won autonomy for the local center in 1976 and changed the name to the Nigeria Institute of Bankers. On November 12, 1977, at the Institute's annual dinner at the Federal Palace Hotel, Lagos, Mr. Geoffrey Dix, the Secretary General of the London Institute, handed over the banner of independence to the Institute. With this, the Nigeria Institute of Bankers was officially launched and firmly established.
We had only 5 banks in Nigeria then. That is Bank of British West Africa, Barclays Bank, now Union Bank, ACB, United Bank for Africa, which was then called British and French Bank, and National Bank. I contacted the heads of those banks and told them there will be need to form an institute of bankers as we have in London. They all agreed.
The major challenges that we have very limited qualified members. And those who are our first challenge is the expatriate, because some of them are not qualified. They just brought it here and to be the bosses in the banks.
By the power of Decree 12 of 1990, the Institute was upgraded to chartered status, the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, CIBN. The Institute has a 38-member governing council made up of the Holders Committee, comprising the President, who serves as the chairman, the first and second vice presidents, and the National Treasurer. Other members include representatives of the body of past presidents, branches, elected members of the Institute, bank chief executives, federal ministries of finance and education, National Universities Commission, the Central Bank of Nigeria, the National Deposit Insurance Corporation, National Board of Technical Education, Mortgage and Microfinance Banks, the Registrar and Chief Executive of the Institute, who serves as the Secretary. Some standing committees assist the Council in executing its mandate. The President and Chairman of the Council holds office for 2 years. He is assisted by the first Vice President and the second Vice President. From 124 bankers in 1963, membership of the Institute has risen to 103,000 by 2012. The members now enjoy a number of value-adding welfare packages. Currently, the Institute has 29 state and 11 satellite branches and 2 foreign branches in London and Canada. Efforts are on to open branch in the United States of America. The administration of the Institute is under the Registrar and Chief Executive. He is assisted by a Deputy Registrar and 6 group heads heading the Directorates of Capacity Building and Certification, Ethics and Professionalism, Finance and Corporate Services, Learning and Development, Membership Services, and National Secretariat Annex Abuja. This is the headquarters of the Institute on Plot 19 Adeola Hopewell Street, Victoria Island, Lagos. Within it is the Institute's bookshop with its large stock of books. But before the Banker's House was this structure, the first ever secretariat by any professional body in Nigeria, it was declared open in 1973. There is also the Cibn Press Limited, which publishes for many institutions, governments, corporate organizations, and individual authors. The Institute's library, because of its rich stock of books, journals, and publications, attracts a large number of users, both members and non-members. From inception in the 1960s till date, the Institute's core mandate is to determine the standard of knowledge and skill to be attained by persons seeking to become members of the banking profession and building such capacity that will meet not just local but international standards for the nation's banking and finance industry. In addition to its flagship ACIB examinations, are 16 other specialist examinations and certificates. Other mandate of the Institute is to conduct professional examinations leading to the award of certificates. The Institute also has examination centers in the Gambia, while efforts are being made to do the same in Ghana and Sierra Leone. Other academic programs include the Chartered Banker MBA, through which the graduate receives the MBA Bangor, ACIB Nigeria, and ACIB Scotland. To further deepen knowledge and expand the expertise of bankers, CIBN has established linkages and partnerships with some local and international academic and professional institutions and bodies. In Nigeria, 8 universities and 13 polytechnics are so far involved in this linkage. The Institute is an accrediting agency for banking and finance programs in tertiary institutions, tuition centers, and banks, training schools, and academies in the country. So far, it has accredited 11 tutorial and study centers nationwide. In its half-a-century life, the Institute has been equally active locally and internationally. It is a frontline member of the Association of Professional Bodies of Nigeria, APBN, and has served as the body's secretariat from its inception over a decade ago. It is on the executive committee of the West African Bankers Association, WABA, since its establishment, and currently accommodates the Nigerian chapter of that body. The CIBN also championed the formation of the Association of Banking Institutes in West Africa and was unanimously elected chairman from inception for 3 consecutive terms before the instability in the sub-region which made it to become inoperative. Thanks to CIBN efforts, the Alliance of African Institutes of Bankers, AAIOB, is in place today. the CIBN has produced the body's chairman for an unprecedented 2 consecutive times. CIBN is also a member of the Global Banking Education Standards Board, GBESB, which develops and promotes international banking standards for the education of professional bankers. It actually suggested the idea at the World Conference of Banking Institutes held in Bahamas in 2011, and it was accepted by the delegates. CIBN is a pioneer member of the World Conference of Banking Institutes, WCBI. Back home, the Institute has equally been very active. Regularly, it presents memoranda to and holds consultations with governments, their agencies, and the National Assembly on issues affecting the banking industry and the economy.
One thing that CIBN has done very well in the past, which I think is a big contribution to the system, is in the area of training.
From its infancy to date, the CIBN has had very close and fruitful relationship with the regulatory bodies, the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) and the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation (NDIC), which are also its corporate members. Since 2001, the Institute has been organizing on behalf of the Bankers Committee an annual seminar on banking and allied matters for judges. It is a forum where challenges facing the banking industry, such as delays in adjudicating cases, rise in credit default, and others are discussed and solutions are proffered. A few groups within the CIBN family have been critical to its survival and growth. One of them is the body of past presidents, 19 in number as at 2013. The other is the body of banks' chief executive officers. The next is the board of fellows of the Institute, made up of fellows and honorary fellows. Also very important is the Association of Professional Women Bankers, APWB. Indeed, from this group has emerged the first and so far the only female president and chairman of the Institute, Mrs. Juliet Madubweze. As a good mother, the CIBN takes special care of its members, old and young, individual and corporate, within and outside the banking hall. It is indeed the first professional banking institute in the world to initiate a beneficial program which involves issuance of practice licenses to its members who wish to consult and render services outside the banking hall in the banking and finance and allied matters under the seal of the CIBN.
CIBN is everywhere. We are touching lives, we are reawakening, they're doing a lot of things.
At 50, the CIBN is no longer a baby but a matured and professionally responsible adult to whom its members and other stakeholders look up to with respect. It has seen obstacles on its way, experienced failures, and suffered disappointments. It has also made many positive impacts, achieved tremendous successes, and cherished the sweet aroma of glory.
They have gone beyond our expectation. We couldn't have imagined that they would be where we are today.
We are going places. You'll agree we have become more visible. We have become more outspoken.
Wow, that's an area that we give credit to this institute.
The institute has come of age. I'm also very happy that the institute has continued to reinvent itself. The institute you see today is different from what it used to be in the past.
To congratulate it for coming this far, and to especially express happiness that we still have a lot of the founding fathers of the CIBN, around, and it gives us confidence and hope.
Congratulations on 50 years. Wish you another 50 years and more of success. And again, congratulations on being able to reinvent yourself, to recognize that times have changed and to remain relevant at this point in time.
Those who are coming behind, they have not let us down.
I'm very privileged, to be and honored by our members for me to be the president and chairman of council of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria. And this is very, very, opportune time. And we are celebrating the 50th anniversary, the founding of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria. And in doing this, I want to thank our founding fathers, people that sat down to think about the need to set up a professional banking body in Nigeria.
Cause it's time to celebrate. Make some noise on the hands.